Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today I'm gonna be doing something different. I'm gonna be doing a something that I haven't done in a while. I've done a couple times these with some of the Dragon Ball Z what if scenarios. Um, so today I'm gonna do a what if Cauliflower was in Universe 7. And there's a lot of different components. I'm sure there's other people that have done this before. Disclaimer: this is just my theory and just my interpretation. And maybe we can do other parts in this because there's obviously a lot of different versions and a lot of different interpretations you could do on this. Um, you know, you can have Cauliflower in there with Goku on Earth in Universe 7. You could do, um, where she's on planet Vegeta and not on Earth. You can do one where she comes later, um, to planet Earth. But the one I'm going to cover today is where she basically is on Earth and Goku never goes to Earth. It's going to basically be her story in Universe 7. So how would this scenario work? Um, well, in this scenario, we need to kind of take into account of a lot of factors because, for one thing, we don't really know exactly. We also there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of accounts that we have to take in here. Um, for one thing, we have to take in a factor of the planet structure here because obviously in Cauliflower's universe 6, there's no planet Vegeta because they have planet Sedalia. Um, so we have to take that factor into account of how different she would act because of that. But one of the biggest gray areas here is we don't really know how Cauliflower was as a child. We don't know like we do with Goku. Um, so we don't exactly know exactly how she would be different in terms of being raised in Universe 7, being on planet Vegeta, or being sent to Earth. Um, in my scenario, really nothing wise would change from how she is regarded because, I mean, that wouldn't be fair to do something like that. Like I said, we can't really take into account her hardships because we don't know what got her to be what she is right now in her universe. We don't know her as a kid as of right now. I mean, obviously something could change when Dragon Ball Super comes back on the air. But as of right now, we don't have that info right now. So as of right now, we have to kind of go with what we have. And because we have to go with what we have, I'm still going to take that into account for how I would integrate her into Universe 7. Because obviously that's kind of what we're doing here. So what would she be like in Universe 7? What would she be like um, if she was in this universe? Um, so we do know that in Universe 6, when she was first introduced, she, I guess, apparently was a leader of like a mob, basically. Gangster type group, basically. Um, and obviously she is, friends with Kale, who she sees as a sister. So there's that. Now, also, I should note in this what if scenario, Kale does not exist. Um, well, she does, but she'd be in Universe 6 still. So that might trigger something even more down the line for Dragon Ball Super. But we're not going to go by that right now. So, how different would this be? Um, so, I'm going to go into the sense for this version of What If that she would be basically going the same way Goku went to planet Earth. Is that she was sent to Earth um, as an infant to destroy the Earth. Yes, we're going by the original origins, not the new one, for this scenario, because it makes more sense. Um, um, and I would sense in the Saints that basically she would go to Earth, and she's a very aggressive natured. So, and being that Planet Vegeta trains people to be killers, basically, for the most part, because they wanted to destroy planets for the highest bidder, and considering the fact that she was, it seemed to be she was very indifferent to the way Planet Sedalia was like, unlike Kappa, who was very more like Goku in the sense of protecting people, wanting to learn, obviously wanted to learn how to fight, but also was willing to he cared more about saving the planet and people when it needed to happen, where Cauliflower kind of isn't like that. Kind of has more of that aggressive nature like Vegeta does. But does like to fight like Goku does. Wants to learn, wants to one up everybody, which is what Vegeta was like in Dragon Ball Z. When Goku was a Super Saiyan, Vegeta was jealous of that. And she wants to kind of get to the next level right away. So she kind of was like that in that sense. So in this scenario, it's really not looking good for planet Earth. Because the way she was, and again, we don't know her hardship as a child because we haven't learned anything about her childhood. So, if she was sent to Earth instead of Goku, in this sense, if she was sent to Earth instead of Goku, in this sense, I have to feel that planet Earth probably would have ended up like Universe 6 planet Earth. Now, yes, I know Universe 6's planet Earth, I don't think they actually were destroyed by people, but it was kind of destroyed by natural causes, but nonetheless, planet Earth was destroyed in Universe 6. So, I have to think that Universe 7's planet Earth probably would be put into a lot of jeopardy if Cauliflower did go to Earth instead of Goku. Now, we're going to play a little kind of what if on this what if, because again, that kind of probably would be the end of the story here, is if she went to planet Earth instead of Goku, and most likely would have destroyed the Earth. So in this scenario, we will go by the whole thing that happens to Goku, where Cauliflower would be sent to Earth as a baby, which again probably is not likely unless there's something that we don't know about her from her childhood, where she wasn't that good of a fighter like Goku was, or at least wasn't graded as one. So in this hypothetical scenario, we're just going to say that Caulifla is like Goku in the sense of she was rated as a low class warrior by Planet Vegeta, and because of that, they sent her to Earth and as a baby rather than older. Um, and because of this, they send her to Earth, and she meets Gohan, Goku's grandpa, and she falls down. She bumps her head. She has the amnesia, just like Goku, and she forgets everything about her mission. Um, so we're gonna still use that scenario here. So because of that, because we're doing that, we're going to use that scenario here. Because of that, she forgets her mission. However, nonetheless, she still has her aggressive nature that we see her older as. It's going to be interesting to see if she's willing to meet up with Bulma for Dragon Balls. I couldn't imagine why she would do that. Because again, she has still this aggressive nature. Yes, she forgot her mission, but she still retains that aggressive nature. She's not going to be like Goku that just doesn't just kind of just like whatever, she's still going to have that aggressive nature. So I could see something where she might just go right to Master Roshi instead. She could just go right to Master Roshi because she wants to learn how to train. She doesn't know about her gorilla form, so I'm just going to go on the limb here that she does accidentally kill Grandpa Gohan, just like Goku does. She goes and seeks Master Roshi right away rather than meet up with Bulma. She seeks out him, learns the Kamehameha, and probably eventually tries to find Dragon Balls because Master Roshi would have known about the Dragon Balls by this point, because as we know, he had a Dragon Ball. By that point, after learning of them, she probably does run into Bulma by this point because, again, Bulma would have been looking for the Dragon Balls, and as we know, Master Roshi in the original traveling of Goku and Bulma from Dragon Ball, Master Roshi did have a Dragon Ball, so she probably would have been training with Master Roshi, and that's probably where they would have met. And just for shits, we'll just say that Caulifla, has the 4-star Dragon Ball just like Goku did. So there would have been 2 Dragon Balls. Bulma wanted a boyfriend. Caulifla would have not been interested in this. Like Goku would have been thinking, I'm just going to go with it. Just because, Goku was kind of naive back then. We all know that. So, because of that, Caulifla probably would have been open to doing it, even though she would have been like, you gotta give me something for this, benefit. Because at that time it was only one wish. Yeah, it was only one wish back then. So it would have been quite interesting to see where they would have gone with it after that. Well, I mean, like I said, you would have had to bait her in for that. Cauliflower would have had to have done something to benefit Bulma, so she would have done it. So she would have gone out and done it. You know what I'm saying? Emperor Pilaf, she would have had to go after Emperor Pilaf. You know, they would have had to chase after them. You still see Oolong doing his, what he ended up getting out of the wish the first time. After that whole fiasco, she would have gone to martial arts tournament. Would have lost to Jackie Chun in the martial arts tournament because, again, her power level wouldn't have been as strong by this point. She would have, she would have easily taken out the Red Ribbon Army, I would think, by that point, because she would have had to Kamehameha, and whatnot. She would have, but she would have had the skill sets than Goku would have at that point in the timeline. So she probably would have been able to easily take out the Red Ribbon Army. And then probably would have easily given Piccolo a run for his money. By the end of Dragon Ball, she most likely would have been, she would have most likely have, I don't know exactly in terms of who she would have gotten married to, because, obviously in terms of the plot, they would have had to have given her someone. They would have had to have given her someone, because the whole point of Goku marrying Chi-Chi was so they could have, an Earthling Saiyan kid. So she would have had to have married someone. I'm trying to think of who would have been available at this point. I guess maybe Krillin. Right? It would have been interesting. Krillin, Cauliflower. The only other options would have been Yamcha and Tien at that point. You gotta remember, we're talking about Dragon Ball here. The Saiyans weren't around, the other Saiyans weren't around yet. We didn't even know the Saiyans existed yet until Dragon Ball Z. So I'm talking about from that's another thing we gotta say. We're doing this strictly from a pure, what characters were available at that point that we knew of. You know what I'm saying? So, in terms of who Cauliflower would have gone with, I don't necessarily ship this, because I don't. But in this scenario, the only guys available for Cauliflower to have gotten with would have been either Yamcha, Krillin, or Tien. And the only people logically I could see Cauliflower getting with is Krillin, because Krillin would have been the one that would have been most likely training with her with Master Roshi. So there probably would have been a bond there more than the other characters would have been with. So, yeah, Krillin would have never got with Android 18 in this scenario. Because he would have already been married by this point. So then you go to Dragon Ball Z, they have a kid. It would have been a boy, just because, Gohan. That's the only reason why I say that. I have no idea who it would have been. You can just use your imagination at this point. It really does not matter. So, yeah. she would have had to go up against um, Raditz, who they wouldn't have been related, so it wouldn't have been as much of a shock. But still, nonetheless, it would have been a battle that she could not have won. And she, by the end of this point, would have been more of an aggressive protector, I would say, because she had been there for so long now and had adapted to Earth life. But she would have acted less caring as Goku did, because obviously Cauliflower was more of an aggressive nature, unless we see any evidence to disprove that. As of right now, we have not. So she wouldn't have had the whole same hardships that Goku had. So she would have been more willing to take risks to defeat Raditz. And this is where I think her undoing would have been. I think Cauliflower would have died because of that. Because I don't think she would have been willing to compromise with Piccolo. And we got to take into account that the power levels, she wouldn't have been as strong as Raditz by this point. So she would not have won, so she would have died, and then Raditz pretty much would have probably conquered the Earth, unless Piccolo was able to do something. And that's kind of where I'm stumped on this, because I can't see her getting past Raditz by this point because of her power level. The power level difference here. So, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm thinking. Obviously, again, there's a lot of different ways to go about this. This is kind of just one thought process. Like I said, I'm just thinking of stuff on how it would go in a certain scenario, and I'm trying to like I said, I'm trying to piece together things based off of the way the show went, to kind of come up with a reasonable way that this could work. Now again, if she would have died, then Piccolo would have somehow had to have beaten Raditz, without Goku helping him hold him down for the special beam cannon. Yeah, that would be the only thing, like Krillin or someone like that, but again, they're weaker than Raditz, so it might have not worked. So one of them would have had to have done it, and because of that, I guess in this scenario, we somehow figure out of how Krillin can somehow outmaneuver him to get him in the, special beam cannon. Krillin dies, kills Raditz, and then they, Piccolo then uses the Dragon Balls, or the heroes, Tien and all those guys, they decide to use the Dragon Balls to restore Cauliflower, and, obviously with only one wish at the time, they would have had to wait to do Krillin, which obviously I'm sure Cauliflower wouldn't have been happy about that. But at the same time, Cauliflower would have had to wait for me, because obviously by this point it would have taken a while for the Saiyans to get there. Krillin and Cauliflower would have trained together on King Kai's planet. Agreement would have been that Cauliflower would have to go because she was stronger than Krillin. So she would have been the one that would wish back However, by this point, she would have had to have adopted to the fact that she can't be careless because she died, and that basically cost Krillin to basically sacrifice himself to die. So she would have had to have adopted to be less careless in this situation. She would have learned the spirit bomb and the Kaioken. She would have learned those. So that would have kind of helped her against Vegeta and Nappa. But again, that's kind of where I'm kind of stumped on where I would go next with this. Because that's really the only way you could go about it later on, after the fact. So yeah, that's kind of where my thought process is. Let me know what you guys think about it. I would like to know what you guys think. And if you'd like me make more of this, let me know. I could kind of do it in a different way, where Goku's included as well, but I really don't know anywhere else to do it besides this scenario. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell for all the latest content. And as about, guys, I am the S Ultimate Goku Moderator. Peace!